Om Namo Narayani. Good morning, good evening, wherever we are all joining in from across the globe and whenever you're watching this. And we thought we just started and we're already in the 6th week. And today we are looking at 33 to 39th names of Sri Lalita. Let us begin with the Guru Gayatri. Those who know it can join in, others just be with the mantra. Jnana Rupaya Vidmahe Shakti Hamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Shakti Amma Prachodayat. Om Jnana Rupaya Vidmahe Shakti Hamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Shakti Amma Prachodayat. Om Jnana Rupaya Vidmahe Shakti Hamsaya Dhimahi Prachodayat. Om Jnana Rupaya Vidmahe Shakti Hamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Shakti Amma Prachodayat. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Om Sahana Vavato Sahana Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The meditation verses. Om Sindhurarunarubhigraham Trinayanam Manikya-maulispurattaranayakashekharam Smitamukhim Apina Vakshoruham Panibhyamalipurnaratnachashakam Raktotphalam Bibhratim Saumyam Ratnaghatastha Raktacharanam ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्तां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्रायताक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसत् हेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयतां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दहस्तेक्षणां सचरचापपाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीमरुणमाल्यभूषोज्ज्वलां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविदौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैरहमित्येव विभावये महिषीम् ॐ नमो नारायणी। We'll start from her 33rd name, Sri Lalita's, the cosmic mother, the totality of everything, how she appeared, what she is. And the description starts from her head, her crown, her face. And now we are coming further down from her physical form. There is every explanation has its physical aspect to it, which is direct meaning from the name. Then there is the mental aspect to it, the subtleties in that. And then there are the cosmic aspects to that same name. So it can be seen from different perspectives and different dimensions, each name. Let us begin with the 33rd one. Om Shreem Kameshwara Prema Ratna Mani Pratipanastanyai Namah Swaha. Om Shreem Om Shreem Kameshwara Kameshwara Premaratna Premaratna Mani Pranapanastanyai Mani Pratipanastanyai Namah Swaha Namah Swaha. Om Shreem Om Shreem Kameshwara Kameshwara Prema Ratnamani Pratipanastanyai Pratipanastanyai Namah Swaha Namah Swaha. Om Shreem Kameshwara Prema Ratnamani Pratipanastanyai 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 Namah Swaha. The meaning: Salutations to Sri Lalita. It is inherent in that when we say Om Shreem to that totality, that auspiciousness, that cosmic mother. And Kameshwara Prema Ratna, Kameshwara, the consort, the husband of Sri Lalita, even though she is the totality of the creation, every creation has the masculine and the feminine aspect. So the masculine aspect is the Kameshwara, both are needed for the creation in worldly realms. And Kameshwara, Kama is desire, love, you can equate it. He's the Ishvara, he's the Lord of all the desires of love. Kameshwara, she also has the name Kameshwari. She is the Ishwari, the goddess, the supreme of all the love. Prema Ratna, he gives, Ratna Mani is that jewel, that precious gem. Prema is that love, it is that pure love. He offers his pure love, that's such a precious gem of his love, and she imbibes it, and in return, she offers her breasts. And why it may seem in the physical form, why is this being equated to a representation of that? And the breast is, Thanam is often referred to as wealth. And if you look at the cow and from the human form, it is that which sustains love, the life, and offers its love for the creation. And in return for that precious, rare love of Kameshwara, she offers her breasts. He bestows, she returns on that love that's bestowed on her. And creation is looked on as very naturally. It is not in the, it is part of creation. Everything about the physical form is honored, and there is reverence to every aspect of the human form, the divine form, which is represented here in the human form. And it is with that love and reverence that we offer this. That this is being offered to us. This is a composition from the forms of different Saraswatis. And they have described her with that import of that deep sense into each of these forms and what they represent. We move to the 34th name of Sri Lalita. Om Shreem Nabhyalavala Romali Lata Phala Kuchadvayai Namaswaha. 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 Om Shreem Nabhyalavala Romali Lata Phala Kuchadvayai Namah Swaha. Om Shri Nabhyalavala Romali Lata Phalak Kuchadvayai Namah Swaha. Om Shri Nabhyalavala Romali Lata Phalak Kuchadvayai Namah Swaha. Now the description goes to describe that fine hairline that starts from Nabha. Nabhi is the navel. And that is something called the Chamundrika Lakshanam. It describes how a perfect formation of the form is. And just looking at these forms, those who are experts and looking at a form can see how perfect it is, or if there are anything that is away from the norm, they can decipher and diagnose certain aspects of it from the appearance of the body. And hers is that perfection. And it is this fine hairline. If you notice a darker, apart from if there are hair at all, fine hair, there is one thin, very fine black line starting from the navel, and it goes up. And Nabhya, Lavala, it's growing from there. Romali is the fine hair. Lata, it's like a creeper that is starting from there. And Phala is the fruit. Kuchadvayai, it's from the creeper of that fine hair that grows up. And it's again, the breasts are like the two fruits from that creeper. Again, a very poetic description. But each of them has certain energetic meanings, and the navel is a very important aspect in realms of the energy field. It is what connects us to the mother. We bring that connection through our life, and from there to the breast, there are different energy pathways in all of these things. And this description is of the salutations to Sri Lalita, whose two breasts are like the fruits growing on the creeper of the fine hairline that springs from the depths of her navel and spreads upwards. So apart from the perfection of the formation of the figure, there are more subtleties in the energetic fields of what it represents and leads on to. 35th name of Sri Lalita. Om Shri Lakshyaroma Lata Dharata Samunneya Madhyama Nyanye Namaswaha. Om Shri. Are we in the right one? Have I missed? I seem to have missed a page. 33. I don't know. Om Shri Lakshyaroma Lata Dharata Samunneya Madhyamaye Namaswaha. Om Shri Lakshyaroma Lata Dharata Samunneya Madhyamaye Namaswaha. Madhyamaye Namaswaha. Om Shri Lakshyaroma Lata Dharata Samunneya Madhyamaye Namaswaha. Om Shri Lakshyaroma Lata Latadharata Samunneya Madhyamayai Namaswaha. Om Shri Lakshyaroma Latadharata Samunneya Madhyamayai Namaswaha. Om Shri Lakshyaroma Latadharata Samunneya Madhyamayai Namaswaha. Om Shri Lakshyaroma Latadharata Samunneya Madhyamayai Namaswaha. From now, the description moves on to her waist. Waist of Sri Lalita is so slender, it seems like it is non-existent. It is only inferred. The waist is so slender that it can only be inferred by the fact that the creeper of her hairline, which we saw in the previous name, springs from it, from the nabhi, the navel, the romavali, that fine hair is coming from that. Just because it is springing from there, you can assume that is where the waist must be. It is almost like non-existent. It's that slender and beautiful. And a slim waist and then a full-blown hip. If you've seen many in the sculptures and the shilpa, it is a slender waist that gives to that beauty of the form. Name 36, name of Sri Lalita. Om Shri Sthanabhara Talan Madhya Pattabandha Valitrayayai Namaswaha. Om Shri Sthanabhara Talan Madhya Pattabandha Valitrayayai Namaswaha. Namaswaha. Om Shri Sthanabhara Talan Madhya Pattabandha Valitrayayai Namaswaha. Namaswaha. Om Shri Sthanabhara Talan Madhya Pattabandha Valitrayayai 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 Namaswaha. Salutations to Sri Lalita, whose waist has 3 folds which form a belt to support her waist from breaking under the weight of her breasts. Sthana, we saw, is the breast. Bhara is the weight. Her breasts are so full and heavy, and it's heavy and bearing down. And the waist seems almost non-existent. And how is it going to bear the weight of that? And there are 3 folds, like 3 lines there in the waist that are formed to support the weight of her breast. So it is not like she's hunching, the whole body is there to support the other aspects of her body in balance with that beauty. And it is not the 3 lines, not of the flab, not of fat layers that we see nowadays. It is not the fat, but these are the support, inner core support, the muscle support that are like supporting her. And why such details? These are all, again, supporting a beautiful form. You need all these different structures to support each other, to complement each other in that whole energetic realm that creates that beauty. 37th name. Arunaruna Kausumbha Vastra Bhavas Kati Tatyai Namaswaha. Om Shreem Arunaruna Kausumbha Vastrabhasvat 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 Kati Tatyai Namaswaha. Salutations to Sri Lalita. Aruna is that glowing sun, the sun that is rising. It is not the peak sun that is blazing, but that pinkish, reddish, orangish hue of that sunrise. Aruna. Kausumbha is the flowers that has this orangish, reddish tint to it. Vastra is her garment. Bhasvat Kati Tatyai Namaswaha. Her hips are adorned with this garment, which is of the hue, the color of the rising sun. And this garment is dyed from that extract. It is of that color of the kusumba flowers. And it goes back many times to nature for reference, to grasp her beauty, because everything is nature, and the colors and the sparkles and everything from nature as a reference. Go to the 38th name for Sri Lalita. Om Shreem Ratna Kinkini Karamya Rasanadama Bhushitayai Bhushitayai Namah Swaha Namah Swaha. When we see Rasana, there is that line above the S. So it's like sa, not sh, but sa. It's not sa. Sa, Rasanaya, Rasanaya. Like it's not Shiva, but Shiva, sa. Rasana, Rasana Dhamma Bhushitaya. There is a dot under the S. So this is the sh, the stress on the sh. Bhushitaya. Rasana Dhama Bhushitaya Namaswaha. Om Shreem Om Shreem Ratna Kinkini Karamya Karamya Rasanadama Rasanadama Bhushitaye Bhushitaye Namaswaha Namaswaha. Om Shreem Ratna Kinkini Karamya Rasanadama Bhushitaye 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 Namaswaha. Salutations to Sri Lalita, who is adorned with a girdle decorated with small bells set with precious gems. Ratna Kinkini. Kinkini is these little bells. Ratna is gems. So these little bells on her girdle, it's again her jewels. She has so many jewels adorning her, so many ornaments. And we in Odyanam, we call it. And that is a girdle around her waist. And sometimes it's like a thread. Sometimes it's like a metallic piece. You would see dancers wearing it to keep around their waist when they are dancing. And it keeps the things in place. It's decorative. And she has these little gem-studded bells on these that are decorating it on her waist. And as you see the description, you start visualizing, the mind stops the analysis and it just melts in the beauty of her form, beauty of her ornaments, beauty of her shape. And that takes you to immerse yourself in the divine, which is the ultimate purpose of all the chants. We come to the 39th name, the last one for this week. Om Shreem Kamesa Jnata. That thing about the N gives it that Nya. It's that Gnya. Gnya. Jnata Saubhagya Mardavoru Dvayanvitayai Namaswaha Namaswaha. Om Shreem Om Shri Kamesa Kamesa Jnata Jnata Saubhagya Saubhagya Mardavoru Mardavoru Dvayanvitayai Dvayanvitayai Namaswaha Namaswaha. Om Shri Kamesa Jnata Saubhagya Mardavoru Dvayanvitayai 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 Namaswaha. Om Shri. Salutations to Shri Lalita. The beauty and the smoothness, can say softness also, the softness of whose thighs are known only to Kamesha, her consort. Again, it brings to the form of the love between the consort, the husband and the wife in creation. And there it is honoring that aspect of that love and the smoothness and the softness of her thighs, which only her consort sees. And it is again bringing the description from the waist, the almost non-existent waist, to the full hips that's covered with the hue of the rising sun, like the Kausumba flowers. Her thighs are hidden. It's not visible to us, but it is the softness and the beauty of her thighs are seen only by her beloved. And there is no, it is so love and creation and the love between a couple, the love for the mother to the child, the various aspects of love is very, very natural in many, many scriptures. When you see the love for, like Vishnu to Lakshmi, and for Kamesha to Kameshwari, Parameshwara and Parvati, all these, you see the male and the female aspect and the love that unites both together, that there is a reverence to it and there is so much love and dignity to that. And even the most of the inner aspects, which many feel shy to talk about, is taken very, it's honored, and with the respect it is mentioned, because creation encompasses all of that. And love is that sustenance that goes through, weaves through everything in creation. And that is her form we saw today, coming from her, the fine hairline to her navel, to the breast that of her, the breast and the heaviness of that, and then the waist and the garment, her hips and to her thighs. So from top down, we are coming down, and the description will go towards her other physical forms in the lower limbs. This is her physical aspect, but again, there are so many depths to each aspect of it before it takes us on to her other 1,000, the rest of the 1,000 names, which are her personalities, her shaktis, and what she encompasses. There is lots more to come on that we will see weekly as we progress. Is there any questions? When you go to a temple, many times when you go you get immersed in the beauty of the architecture, and you see the formation of how it has been sculpted. It reminds me of something I heard from a devotee. When big Narayani in the Narayani temple was sculpted, we call the sculptor the Stabadi. And Stabadi knows the dimensions of each form. There is a measurement. It's so scientific. And how this is distance from that to this. And each form he knows, and each aspect of what the goddess holds. Here we saw Lalita holding the Pashankusha, the rope, the rope for the desire, the Ankusha, the thing to control the mind, the bow and the arrows. And each deity has the different forms, what they hold in their hands, and each represents something. So the Stabadi, the sculptor, knows what she holds in which hands, how she holds, the significance of each of these. He takes all the dimension or the proportion of the form and what she holds, the ornaments. So there's tremendous amount of that details he can envision the Stabadi and bring it into reality in the sculpted form. Stabadi could be a she, of course, he or she. And when the big Narayani was sculpted and she was being installed in the altar, the shrine, the inner sanctum, I heard from a devotee, he came in, looked at it and said, this is not the form that I sculpted. He has been meditating, spending hours and hours, days and days, weeks and weeks, months and months, sometimes maybe years, to form that form of the divine in that sculpted form. And he knows it through and through. Every fiber in him knows his creation, that what he has created. And he came there when she was installed, and he looked at her and said, this is not the Narayani I sculpted. She had changed. You know, when you install and Amma gives life, when they do all the energy, the Kumbhabhishekam, all those energies, the deity transforms. And even before that, when Amma energizes, she can, even if it is made of stone, it can change its format. It is magical, really. And I have seen, I've heard it said from, again, a devotee, when the Vishnu in Shripuram was made, it's one single piece of granite, and it is 9 feet. And it's the biggest single piece of Vishnu. And Amma came and she put her mouth like this and did this. So she wants a smiling Vishnu. The Stabadi had made it this way. She just puts her hand there, does this. So he's beaming. When Amma does Abhishekam and you see him during Abhishekam, you can see he's beaming. Amma wants all her forms in her beaming nature, not as mellow form or a stern form. You can see some forms of divinities are ugram. They can be ferocious, angry forms. Some are like mellow, compassionate, gentle, but hers is beaming. Every time any form of Narayani you see, the big Narayani, Mangala Narayani, other forms you see, she is always beaming. And even the sculptors, the Stabadi has not formed that. Amma just does a little tweak, and even if it's made of granite or whatever, it transforms. So that is the human living form of Sri Lalita Narayani herself. And we are very, very fortunate to be in these times and to see her in flesh and in human form. So blessed. Yeah. Any questions? We've reached our time. Oh, I have to look in the chat, I guess. One moment. Yes. So, and this form she has come to give and give to the world. And Sri Lalita, it's said it's given to humanity and even gods and enlightened beings chant Sri Lalita. It is so, it encompasses the totality. Even Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the creation, all of them are incorporated into that form of Lalita. We saw there are crores and crores, millions and millions of Brahmanda. In the creation, there are many, many in the cosmos, galaxies and trillions and whatever, stars and planets, and there are many, many, many worlds, and they're all created by this one mother. We call her Narayani, we call her Sri Lalita, that one cosmic mother. And everything we see in creation comes under her realm. And just to meditate on her is not given to everyone easily. Not everyone gets drawn to it. And we saw that in the beginning, Hayagriva is telling Agastya, I didn't teach you because you have to come and ask for it. Otherwise, it is not given because it is that's precious. You don't go around distributing diamonds and rubies. Someone has to appreciate it, value it before such something precious can be given. And who will value it? Someone who understands the meaning, significance of it, who can receive it with that reverence. To them, you give this, what is precious. So it may sound very simple, these names. It may sound like, why are we looking at the physical form with all these descriptions? Each has so much depth to it that our human mind, our level, at certain levels can comprehend so much. Each one, as they advance in their spiritual practices, it opens up more, it opens up more, they get more and more inner meanings to each of these names. Om Namo Narayana. It's a joy to share and learn together along with you, all of you. Thank you.
Since nobody have any questions, can we wrap up, Dr.?
Yeah, we can stop the recording and then we can